Can you believe it? Hidden beneath this dense forest is an abandoned stone house from World War II. Today, I'm clearing the overgrowth and bringing this forgotten place back into the light. After clearing the area, the damaged roof tiles were completely removed to inspect the condition of the old structure. The worn-out tiles and wooden framework were carefully taken down, revealing the original stone walls that had stood for many years. Inside the house, the old flooring was removed, uncovering the historic structure and a preserved ancient wooden pressing system. Large wooden beams were lifted onto the top of the stone walls to build the new roof structure. Each roof truss was carefully measured, cut, assembled, screwed into place, and precisely aligned to create a strong and balanced framework. Horizontal wooden battens were then installed across the roof to support the new roofing, while custom-shaped metal gutter brackets were securely fastened along the roof edge at even intervals. The roof was further completed with a skylight. The opening was carefully measured and framed, while the glass panel was securely installed and sealed with waterproof sealant to prevent leaks. Metal roofing sheets were then lifted into place and firmly screwed onto the wooden framework. Finally, the ridge cap was installed, creating a weather-tight and durable roof built to withstand the elements. The old stone walls were repaired by removing the damaged mortar, cleaning every joint, and thoroughly washing the surface before repointing. Fresh mortar was then applied and injected deep into the gaps to strengthen the structure. Once the mortar began to set, the excess was brushed away, revealing the natural stone and giving the house a stronger, cleaner appearance. The restoration then moved inside the house, where the old walls and floor were thoroughly cleaned. Damaged plaster and worn materials were removed. The ground was leveled, and the stone walls were coated with a fresh layer of mortar to reinforce the structure. The floor was waterproofed with heavy-duty membrane sheets. The joints and wall edges were heat-sealed, tightly pressed, and coated with an additional waterproof layer to prevent moisture from entering. Fresh concrete was then poured across the entire floor and carefully leveled. Next, the built-in flue pipe and the electrical cabinet were installed. The flue pipe was securely fixed with mortar, while the electrical cabinet was carefully aligned and secured in its proper position. A sturdy wooden frame was installed beneath the roof overhang. The panels were carefully measured, cut to size, and securely fastened to cover the underside of the roof and the gable end, creating a clean, tightly sealed soffit that provides lasting protection for the roof structure. The old wooden beams were sanded to remove dirt, moss, and weathered wood, revealing their natural grain. The entire beam system was thoroughly cleaned and coated with a protective oil to resist moisture and insects. Meanwhile, new timber materials were prepared for the next phase of construction. The wooden loft was built with carefully measured support beams and floorboards. The boards were tightly fitted and securely fastened, creating a strong and sturdy floor. At the same time, the loft bedroom took shape, while an opening was left for the staircase. The ceiling frame was reinforced and securely fastened before the insulation layers were installed. Rock wool insulation was cut to fit tightly between the wooden beams, followed by a vapor barrier with all seams sealed using tape for moisture protection. Finally, panels were installed and securely screwed into place, creating a strong, airtight, and well-insulated loft space. The electrical system was fully installed, including the main electrical panel, concealed wiring, and outlet locations before the walls were enclosed. A sturdy wooden frame was then built, and rock wool insulation was cut and fitted tightly between the timber studs to improve thermal and sound insulation. The walls were covered with a vapor barrier before pine boards were installed and securely fastened to the framing. Electrical outlet openings were carefully integrated during the wall installation, while the entire wood surface was treated with linseed oil to protect the timber and enhance the natural beauty of its grain. The interior of the house continued to take shape with the installation of the flooring. The concrete floor was coated with a bonding primer before tile adhesive was evenly spread across the surface. Each wood-look tile was carefully installed and leveled using a tile leveling system to ensure a perfectly even finish. Finally, the grout joints were sealed and the floor was thoroughly cleaned, creating a neat, warm, and fully finished interior. The wood stove was positioned in the living room and connected to a chimney pipe running through the wall. The heating system was securely completed, providing reliable warmth and creating a cozy atmosphere throughout the home. The entrance to the house gradually took shape with a handcrafted pine door. The wooden boards were glued, tightly joined, and reinforced with wooden dowels before the wrought iron hinges were installed. The antique lock was restored and paired with a custom-made key, creating a door with a distinctive medieval character. The access to the attic was built with a wooden staircase, supported by a main load-bearing post and a strong frame structure. Each step was carefully measured, assembled, and secured with screws, creating a sturdy structure within the limited space. The entire surface was sanded and coated with a protective finish, highlighting the natural beauty of the wood. The open area around the attic staircase was fitted with a wooden railing to improve safety. The wooden pieces were carefully crafted, assembled with the handrail, and securely fixed to the floor, creating a rustic walkway that blends harmoniously with the interior of the home. The living room corner was arranged with a custom-built wooden sofa, a wooden table, and vintage decorations that added character to the space. Combined with the cast-iron stove against the stone wall, the room became warm and filled with the rustic beauty of the home. Outside the house, the natural stone pathway is being built using stones collected from the surrounding area. Each stone is carefully selected, arranged, and secured with reinforced mortar, combined with a stone railing to create a sturdy walkway that blends harmoniously with the architecture of the home. Continuing, the stone retaining wall outside the house was built along the slope. The natural stones were carefully selected and arranged layer by layer on a reinforced mortar base to create a strong and stable structure. The stone surfaces were ground and the joints were carefully finished, making the structure durable and harmonious with the surrounding landscape. The concrete patio was built with a series of anchor holes that were dug, drilled, and secured with steel rods connected to the foundation. Wooden formwork was installed to create the drainage slope, along with a compacted stone base before placing the reinforced steel mesh. The concrete mixture was then poured into the work area and leveled, completing the outdoor patio of the house. The stone pillars were built with reinforced steel frames inside. Anchor points were drilled into the foundation, and the steel cages were secured before the stone blocks were placed around them. Concrete was poured into the inner core, bonding the stone and steel together into a solid structure. The solid wooden beams were lifted into position on top of the stone pillars using a manual lifting method combined with leverage. Precise mortises were drilled into the beams to connect with the steel anchors extending from the stone columns. The frame was reinforced with steel plates, bolts, and locking pins, securing the connection between the wooden beams, stone walls, and support pillars. The rafters were installed along the roof slope and connected with wooden braces to improve the stability of the outdoor porch structure. The porch roof was covered with metal sheets installed over the rafters and secured with specialized screws, fitted with rubber washers to reduce water leaks. A gutter and downspout system was installed along the roof edge to direct rainwater properly and protect the stone patio below. The side section uses translucent polycarbonate panels, allowing natural light to enter the outdoor living space. The outdoor kitchen was built under the porch with a strong brick base and an arched wood storage area underneath. The bricks were arranged in a curved design, combined with a heat-resistant concrete firebox and fire brick lining inside. The chimney was installed through the roof with waterproofing applied around the joints. The exterior was painted and the brick details were refined, adding a rustic feature to the outdoor space. From an abandoned stone ruin dating back to World War II, this incredible journey transforms a forgotten structure into a warm and beautiful stone home surrounded by nature. More than just a renovation project, it is a story of perseverance, creativity, and a passion for building. We hope this video inspires you to believe that with determination, hard work, and dedication, even the most impossible dreams can become reality.